Hello and welcome to the Kingdom YouTube podcast. My name is Jacko, and today I'm joined by Ivory.
Hello.
Finally have a guest for the podcast after months and months of just me doing it by myself and rambling in the dark like a typical YouTuber. You know, I've actually wondered that. That's a legitimate question that I've wanted to ask a doctor. Is if it's harder to diagnose being a psychopath or something like that, because isn't a psychopath them talking to themselves or some shit?
Um, Schizophrenic, maybe.
Yeah, whatever, same thing. Not, but you know what I mean. Like, because there's a lot of people that who are like mentally or typically talk to themselves a lot. You know, like they're used to
Yeah,
talking
that's
to
true.
themselves a lot. So I guess I would wonder if it's harder to diagnose those people or not. So yeah, this is the first time we've had someone. Or there's been more than just me on the podcast in a while. There's no real reason other than it's difficult. This podcast already had issues when it came to just getting Ivory to join and record. So I don't know how we'll do this in the future. Maybe we'll have two people on eventually at some point. If Ivory can join again, who knows? You guys let me know in the comments who you want. If you want to join in on a podcast, let me know. Patrons get first ghost, first dibs. But nobody has taken that so far. Anyways, what should we talk about first? We can talk about there's one thing that I've talked to you about. Me and you were going to work on it together at one point. That I forgot to mention in the previous podcast was about mascots. Remember when we started talking about doing mascots for the
Yes.
the kingdom?
Yes, I do.
So if you're new to the kingdom is meant to be an online community. The YouTube channel is meant to be voiced by multiple people, but lately I've just had to take a break and write some scripts because we got to a point where I'd write a script, then it would get voiced right away, and then I couldn't make a back catalog. And so that's why the Explain series have been on hiatus and stuff like that for a while. Like scripted stuff's been on a hiatus for a while now because of that. Yeah.
Okay, wait.
What?
Wait.
We're back, I guess, from that shit. Whatever that was. And then I peaked the audio just by saying we're back. So this podcast is going off very well so far. This is going to be hell trying to make sure the audio works. But it's definitely easier than normal because Discord did an update where we can finally, or Mac users can finally have Discord audio recognized as desktop audio, so you can finally record calls on Mac. Because before, here's a tidbit. This is for people on numerous times when it comes to how I do art or how I do the Explain series. Been like, there's easier ways to do this. The Explain series, I basically do like a full rewrite and everything. I rewatch all the series. Like it's basic. Like I do like a whole thing. For art, I used to draw by hand, then take a picture of it, then draw on my tablet, and then take that tablet image, then redraw it on Photoshop. And then sometimes I would mess around in Illustrator as well. Like it's a really fucked like back end way of doing it. And the way that we used to do the podcast is each person used to record their audio individually, and then I would sync it up. And then because of latency issues, sometimes if you listen to the older podcast, there'd be like, all right, now this voice isn't matching up with this voice, or he's ahead of them, or she's ahead of them, or whatever, you know. That's what happened. But now it's just one audio file. It makes it a lot easier. Hopefully it's a lot easier. I mean, people will know if it's a lot easier and it sounds fine when they're actually listening to the video. You guys let me know what you guys think. Make sure you berate Ivory in the comments. It's very
Bro,
important.
what?
Very important. You can't get better if you aren't berated.
I don't think it is. I'm gonna be real, Jacko. I think it's more important to bully you. I think.
No, I
think
disagree. There's nothing to bully when you're perfect.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We were actually talking about that off podcast about how we're almost at 300 subs. We've hit 23,000 views or so, and yes, I will do a video at some point saying thank you for the subs. I want to do 1,000 or something. Because at this when we passed 50, I was like, I'll do a video. Then we passed 100, and I was like, I'll do 100. And then we did 100. Then we got to 200, and I was like, now I'm thinking of I either wait till 500 or I wait till 1,000. Because it does. I feel like 1,000 is a number that's pretty big. You could fill a stadium with 1,000. 500, that's still more than my fucking high school had when I graduated. So I don't know. I don't know, 500, 1,000. That's what we're aiming for before you guys get a thank you video. Other than that, you guys are just peasants for subscribing to the channel. But yeah,
not worthy of yet.
They're not worthy at all. But yeah, we will get there's gonna be a dev update video probably the same week that you guys are getting this podcast. So I'm not even gonna talk about it too much here. I'll leave it to the dev update video. Those are important. If you actually have questions about the YouTube channel or anything like that, you gotta watch those videos because those are where I'm gonna answer it. The podcast, I fuck around and talk about random shit. But yeah, we were talking about the mascots. Originally, the idea with the mascots was we were gonna have 2 characters. They're meant to represent everyone. One that was more feminine, one that was more masculine. And we weren't gonna say whether or not they were female or male. And me and Ivory had bounced around a bunch of ideas of what to do. And I ended up creating 2 designs, which I still haven't finished. One of them is like semi-complete male, and one's just a head for the female. But I really want to make an individual mascot for every role within the kingdom, and there's 250 roles. But I want to make it so that like gamers have a mascot, the weebs have a mascot, the ushers have a mascot, or anything like that. But I'm thinking that we should make that more of a community thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, like people do fan art.
Yeah.
Have people come make a contest or something like that. But we do talent shows and stuff like that, but then people don't compete, so I don't know what to do.
Listen, I'm telling you, you just put Annie as the mascot. It'll be great.
I had an idea for Annie to do her head in like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
You know how have you ever watched the movie where it's like all real and they're like fighting like ghost things or some shit?
Yes, yeah.
Mummy, no, not Mummy Island. They're all real people, but they got like Mr. Bean's in the movie.
Oh, is that the one they're on the island though? Like
yeah, they're on like an island
one?
that's got like spooky like there's like a theme park going on.
One?
It's like,
yeah,
that one. In that one where he's got like semi-robot body. For me, I imagine doing an Annie mascot where it's Annie's head, but on like a dwarf kind of like armored body or something like that. So who knows? Maybe I'll do Annie at some point as a mascot. But I gotta finish doing these 2 main ones. Maybe that will be the one for the animals, for the people that like posting pictures of animals and nature and shit.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that one. Maybe Annie will be that one. Yeah,
I think it's starting to rain too, because you talked about it raining there earlier. Yeah. It's all thundering now.
Yeah, it's rained 3 separate times. Right now, it's like super bright out and blue, but it was also blue before. The reason why I had mentioned the rain to Ivory was because I was worried because it got so bad that I was like, I'm gonna lose power. I actually streamed early today, and if you aren't already, follow the Twitch. There's a link in the. I think we just heard the thunder. There's a link in the description for the Twitch. And I mentioned during that I was like, I have a phone when we lose power, and the stream's gonna cut out, but it didn't cut out. So who knows? Maybe with this podcast, all my power will go away during recording.
Might be me next, dude. Like, it's not sounding good.
Yeah.
It's not sounding good.
Dude, it's been like like anime rain or like animation rain in general.
Yeah.
When it's like big globs or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it's been like over here.
Kind of rain.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli. If you have no idea what we're talking about, I'll put a picture on screen or a video on screen if I can. Hopefully we don't get copyright strike for putting a clip. You know, we actually got. Fuck, what podcast did we do about? The last podcast me and you did was Assassin's Junction, and I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was that one that we did that I got a copyright strike for. There's some podcast we did, where I put like a 10-second clip, and it got flagged, and it was like, you got to get rid of this, and I was like, oh shit, podcasts
Really?
are the worst. Yeah, because the reason with podcasts is like if you get a copyright strike, and it's like you can change this within YouTube, but then it's like let's mute all the audio of this section, even though it's just a video problem. To me, it makes no sense. YouTube needs to fix their shit.
Yeah. That like 10-second clips. They've gotten so like I don't even know like just picky about like anything that they put on YouTube now. It sucks.
Yeah. I think it's not just YouTube that's being picky. It's just copyright owners and everyone in general. Like
Yeah.
everyone has made this an issue collectively. It's not an individual's thing. What to talk about YouTube? That's one of the points I wanted to bring up. Did you hear about the YouTube theater thing that they're making or made?
No.
I think it's in California. I don't fucking know. I didn't pay too much attention. I'll put the Twitter video that I saw because I made sure to bookmark it so I could put it in a video. But they made a giant like theater thing. The fucking entrance looks like you ever seen those old photos of what Disney was supposed to look like, or Universal or whatever, like the Disney Expo where it's like a big circle city, there's like all the trucks are underground or whatever, it's like all these are apartments and then they can work within the city, and then there's theme parks and shit like that, whatever. It's like that, like it has that kind of retrofuturism, as I think it's called. I love that shit. I think we've talked about retrofuturism before. If you don't know what it is, retrofuturism is, as the name implies, the old interpretation of the future. So think like Jetsons, like flying cars or whatever, or like living on Mars, like old retro ways that people thought of the future. And it's just got a massive green space at the entrance, but it's supposed to, I think that what they're trying to do is build a giant concert hall so they can have all their YouTubers in one place. Be like, instead of letting the YouTubers go out and pay some dickhead to do something at some crazy concert hall, YouTube can profit off of that and have their YouTubers do their shit there. So instead of like TanaCon kind of shit, whatever, we have conventions, it can be all housed at YouTube. I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, I don't fully understand. There wasn't a whole lot of information they gave out. It looks pretty modern. That's about all I can say. It's one, you know how I feel like I describe this as modern, but I feel like people have been doing this since like the fucking 80s, where it's like curved, you know, like it's everything. It looks like someone dropped. It looks like someone dropped a pile of seashells in the ground, and we're like, that's a building. Like, you know what I mean? The weird curves. No, you know.
Yeah,
Think of the Sydney Opera House.
About, like, the sleek design.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like all curves. It's all like all that shit goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Supposedly they cover the Sydney Opera House every year with oil. With or some dude does. Some old man covers the whole thing in oil. Olive oil specifically, for no reason. I think it's a thing, like a good luck thing or something like that. I can't remember. But the whole thing gets covered in oil.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I don't think olive oil is flammable, so I don't think you can set the Sydney Opera House on fire by.
I think it is flammable, isn't it?
Olive oil?
I mean, it's oil.
Yeah, but it's olive oil. That's a lot of water and olives, right? I don't think olive oil is flammable. I guess so. I don't know. You guys leave a comment if olive oil is flammable.
Prove Jacko wrong.
Yes. We were talking about how we don't really get bad comments. At least in my opinion, we don't get bad comments. I take a lot of the comments that other people might consider bad as criticism. The Drifters video we talked about, the Drifters video I voiced, or got a lot of comments about me mispronouncing stuff, but I still don't take that as bad comments because they were right. I did mispronounce shit. I pronounced Oda Nobunaga as Oba Nobunaga or something like that. It's very like wrong. I was pronouncing Oda as Oba. That's because I was sick, and I redid the video. So if you've watched the original Drifters video that we did, watch the Redux one. Watch all. If you've watched the original versions of the Explained series, watch the Redux versions because we've done better. The One Piece video you did was a fucking bitch. That I had when I did the Redux of it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, do you watch the director's cut video I did of it? I'm gonna assume no.
No.
All right.
No, it did not, Jacko.
Typical. A lot of. Here's the thing. Every time I have someone on here, most of you guys don't watch the fucking videos.
I'll like the videos, but I don't watch them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll take that. But the director's cut video, I mentioned how there's that whole video. I think I redid the original One Piece video. I want to say 14 or 15 times I redid that video.
Wasn't that one super long too?
No, I don't think so. 25 minutes or something like that. So yeah, I guess it was long, but
did I do that one? Did I do the first one?
Yeah, you did it. I think you did both. I think you did the Redux.
Terrible. I think I had 45 minutes worth of just talking for the first video. It was terrible.
I think our original, you talking about the Cowboy Bebop video? That was the first explained video we did that you voiced.
That one was. I don't even want to think about that.
I go back and watch that video. I go back and watch a lot of the videos because I'm like, I want to think about the way I edited stuff or how I wrote stuff down, and I like going back to the Cowboy Bebop video because there's a rhythm to it that I don't really do in a lot of the other videos. And the reason why I don't is because you can't really... Cowboy Bebop, we got away with it for some reason. I mean, you can't watch... I think you can't watch either one of the Cowboy Bebop videos if you're in Japan. But, I mean, I don't think we have a huge Japanese audience. I mean, we all speak English, but we do talk about Japanese things.
Yeah, that's true.
But that video, I go back and try to see if I can match the rhythm with other videos. And I have it. I don't think I have. I think the Berserk video, I did a pretty good job at matching beats, but I don't know. Oh, Didi just told us in the general chat for Discord that olive oil is flammable, but it would have to be heated to its flash point before it ignites. Well, the Sydney Opera House is in Sydney, Australia, so I mean, that place is pretty fucking hot. But I don't think it would have to get to a flash point.
Yeah, but it would slowly cook away, wouldn't it?
I guess. I mean, I doubt that you could cover the whole house, the whole theater.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the first place, how much of it is getting covered in olive oil?
I think it's a couple
they
gallons.
Can't cover the whole thing.
No,
a couple gallons.
It's this old man and his family. I can't remember. I watch a lot of British shows, and one of the shows I watch is QI. I think we watched it one time while we were waiting for a Weeb night as a opener instead of just sitting around and staring at a screen, which I don't. Sometimes I do. If I'm watching something and then we're starting Weeb night, then I'll put on what I'm watching so other people can watch it while we wait. But I heard that. But in QI, it's a big panel show with a bunch of comedians where they talk about facts and random shit. It's it's interesting. It's fun. It's all on YouTube. It's all free, so it's something to watch. And they talked about that one time, so I can't remember the facts straight up. But speaking of flashpoints, everything, and this is how this video is going to get taken down by YouTube. Let's talk about
Holy
Pakistan.
shit!
Holy shit, dude!
No.
The gods don't want me to talk about Pakistan.
They do not. They really don't.
They really don't. Well, I was just gonna mention it because have you heard about all the heat going on? Have you heard about all the heat that's been going on in Pakistan?
I mean, I have heard about it, but I don't quite know what's going on.
It's hotter than the human body can handle right now, supposedly. It's so fucking
there's
stupid
one of
hot.
going on, and it's. What? Oh wait, there might be another one.
Oh.
No, there wasn't. Okay, it wasn't that loud. But anyway, there's one in America too. You're talking about the heat wave?
No, it's not just a heat wave. It's because of climate change and everything. No, this place is fucked. Get out of here.
No, that's going on in America too. It's in the north western states. like it's what is it called? It's like called bulb temperature or something like that. Like it's getting to the point where they're gonna have to start talking about that.
I have no idea. I just read this on Twitter. That's where I get 90% of my news. No,
Oh
but
well, it's I think probably all over like Europe and obviously like Middle Eastern countries, and then I guess some in America, which surprised me.
here's the thing. There's been so much shit that's been going on the last couple of years, the last 2 years. 2019 and 2020 were really crazy, and then we're in 2021, and there was like the storming of the Capitol. There was a lot of shit the last like 3 years, right?
Hmm.
Thinking about this heat reminded me of when fucking Greece just blew up on fire. Like it was like Greece caught on fire, a mountainside caught on fire. Then there was like an oil slick or some shit. And I remember seeing videos of this village burning, and then people being in a fucking the lake outside watching all their houses burn. And it was a really beautifully aesthetically pleasing picture of like all these people in the water staring at a giant burning village, like something you
Yeah,
see out of Game of Thrones or some shit. And it's like, oh yeah, then California started going on fire, and then Australia. So it's like that shit got buried fast. There's so much shit like that, dude. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with news and everything.
hmm nothing looks like it's getting better either. Like I do not think we're gonna be able to come back from all of the pollution and shit. Like if global warming is already this bad in probably the span of the last 5 years, it's not gonna get better.
Yeah, it's the hottest summer on record again. And
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 13 or something like that, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the hottest summer. This is the hottest it'll ever be." It's like I've been hearing that year and year and year. I had
Every year.
I think I've talked to you about this before, but it doesn't snow on Christmas here anymore. I don't know about
Really?
what it like. I'm fairly northern. Like I'm like top. I'm not all
Yeah.
the way up north, but I'm more northern than you.
Yeah.
I'm from Canada. You're from the States, and so you kind of would expect snow on Christmas. But
Hmm.
dude, there was a year I very specifically remember my neighbor was mowing his lawn on Christmas Day, and my uncle
Dude.
shoveled snow one year when I was a kid. He took snow from an ice rink nearby because they shave off the top layer of ice, and then brought it to
Yeah.
the home because we all stay together on Christmas, and he basically laid out snow in the front so there'd be snow on Christmas Day for me. He's a great uncle. I
Really?
love him. Yeah, I would totally do that for my nephews and everything as well. He's like
Hmm.
he's a great guy. But it's like
I think
it hasn't snowed in years. And
it's definitely no like this or this winter has been the first winter. Well, I guess it'd be last winter. Was like the first winter it snowed, and it was like consecutive snow in a long time. Like it
yeah,
was.
because you guys got fucking crazy snow this year.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
got
like seasons are shifting and everything.
yeah. Texas got buried,
Yeah,
and then all
yeah, they did.
dude, those pictures scared the shit out of me because I've seen stuff like that before. It's funny because a lot of people were like going crazy, and it's like I witnessed that shit, and it wasn't a fucking huge thing. Like I remember seeing there was a picture that was going around a lot of this apartment building where a water a water pipe or whatever. Why does that sound wrong?
Hmm.
The water for inside the apartment had blown up and then froze over, and it was
Yeah,
like icicles coming down from the ceiling past like a light, and I was like, I've seen that. I've seen that near my school. Like if you go down an alleyway towards a thrift shop, there's fucking icicles on the ceiling. And I was like, yeah, that's not a
yeah,
pandemic here, but that shit's fucking insane over there.
yeah.
There's so many
It's
things. Yeah. There's so many things that are going on. Like, once again, there's so many of these little instances that are like, this would normally take up a chapter in a fucking book, but it's like a cliff note of the last couple of years.
yeah,
I think about that a lot because I remember my grandparents, they tell me a bunch of stories. My parents tell me a bunch of stories, right? And
yeah,
I imagine telling my grandkids or my kids or whatever these stories and be like, they remind me that like, oh, you remember this giant fucking fire in Australia? What was that like? It was like, oh, Yeah, that was nothing. Like, there was other shit going on. The fucking president of the United States said some racist shit again or something like that. It's like more people cared about that.
Yeah.
I remember there was one point where I literally asked someone from Australia, "Is like, oh, you still got those fires going on?" He's like, "No, they've been out for a while." I was like, "Cool," because no news station
Cool.
wanted to tell me that.
I mean, like, it's just like there's so much. I mean, the past year has been so, besides the pandemic and everything like that, but there's been like a ton of shit going on anyway. So like, everything just kind of blends together, I guess.
I think it started in 2016, whatever the year of the Ugandan knuckles was. That's when I
Oh
started.
shit! You know what? That's a great point. Or when Harambe died. I feel like that's when it
Harambe
went
was
down.
2014. I can't think of anything in 2015 that was like that was a big event. Then another big event happened. 2016, I remember. I think that was the year that we had Knuckles, because I remember there was the Jake Paul incident, which I don't think you're allowed to mention on YouTube. Trump got elected.
Oh.
Gun Knuckles happened, and a bunch of other shit happened. And I remember at the end of the year, someone had mentioned that Ugandan Knuckles and the Jake Paul incident had happened the same year. I don't remember if it was 2016, but I remember them saying that or seeing a joke post on Instagram. I was like, no way. And then I did a quick search on my phone. I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, this is fucking insane. There's so much shit going on. Like, I know it's stupid to compare Ugandan Knuckles with Australia burning alive and a pandemic or whatever. But it was like, I think since 2016, there's just been a news overload. I think that's when it really started.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't help that everyone and their mother thinks they're a journalist because they can put a small essay together.
Mhm. Not only that, but like just, I mean, for America itself, it just gets like I mean, like everything comes down to the pandemic really, but like because of all like the quote unquote fake news and just like the division of people, shit's getting really crazy anyway, despite the fact that, you know, there's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on outside of, you know, humans' control.
Yeah. I mean, so I usually go up to the States like once a year or twice a year. Which, you know, that's like family stuff or whatever. But like this year, they're trying to organize again. So we're all getting. I got my second dose coming this Monday. So like, most of my family's getting second doses and everything. So we're able to go and fly there and stay at some point or whatever. And they're all asking me if I want to go. I'm like, no. They're like, oh, but Trump's not there anymore. Like, there's not a huge thing going on. And it's like, no. Like, are you fucking stupid? Just because the guy's gone, and just because we've gotten our doses or everything, doesn't mean all this other crazy shit isn't going on. Like, specifically for Trump, and we don't usually get political on the podcast, and this is not really political. The dude caused issues. Or he brought up issues at the very least. To give the guy some credit, he made news important in people's eyes again. Like, news, like, people haven't talked about news this much since JFK got fucking assassinated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
And then, so you have that, but you also have the guy, he brought up a bunch of issues and made them come to the light. Like, BLM, I'm not saying that, like, it feels like to me, most people didn't give a shit until he started talking shit, you know? Like, the conversation didn't get to a high point until he started getting involved. Or, like, it felt like it wasn't...
Well, it was just the boiling point, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he made everything get to a boiling point. And I find it ironic that all these people are like, I can finally go to the States. Or, like, oh, he's gone. You know, like, fucking hurrah, hooray.
No,
he
like, literally left.
Yeah,
he left, like... fucking what would you call it, like he just left a trail of disaster behind him because before I like decided to get my vaccine because I'm fully dosed now, but my mom was begging me like, no, don't get it like what? Since like, and she had never been like anti-vax or anything like that before, but you know.
Yeah, I'm not like, for me it's just like none of the issues are solved. Like yeah, exactly. Nothing has changed. Just because he's gone doesn't mean it's a fucking victory. Like, there's still shit going on. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, you got all these people talking about, you know, like, I mean, I spend a lot of time on Discord, so you get a lot of those kind of interactions with people. But,
Mhm.
like, BLM specifically comes to mind, where everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's over, we solved it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we didn't, nothing solved. You know, those, like, fucking, they're like, oh, yeah, we're reformatting this entire police station or whatever, and it's like, we're taking away their entire budget. We're firing this entire police squad. Oh yeah, we're rehiring them with like a slight bonus, or it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
nothing was solved. Everything,
Yeah.
because no one gives a shit anymore, so it can all fly under the radar. Because everyone starts giving shit about something else, like Kim Kardashian got a third fucking butt implant or some shit, and then the BLM shit can pass under the radar.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy shit. I don't know.
I don't know. I definitely think like we're nearing the end of capitalist society. It's going to fall and crash and burn. It's happening right now as we speak. We're living in the history book right now, dude.
I don't think so.
I
see a lot of those people there. I saw a report talking about how communism is getting bigger and bigger, or is bigger than it was during the reign of some Stalin or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, not even communism, just the like big corporations. It's like just capitalism in general. It doesn't last long. It's late stage. I don't know. People are just angry, I guess, about it. Enough people to make something happen, I guess.
Yeah,
the boiling point.
I don't think you could really get rid of capitalism in the West, in my opinion. Just too many people are born and structured on it. It'd be hard to tell them one day that your money means nothing or whatever. Like, it's not that easy.
Oh, yeah.
Because even if the money literally means nothing, physically means nothing, you have to keep in mind that mentally people are not prepared for that, or will not acknowledge that for like decades. You know?
Yeah.
Getting rid of capitalism is the same thing as getting rid of racism, in my opinion, where it's like you can set up everything like perfect, like proper try to think of it. Proper equality, but as long as the people who remember when there was a black and white water fountain, you can't fucking expect them not to be racist. Like, they were raised in a era where that kind of shit was, you know, a-okay. So you can't expect them to suddenly switch at the drop of a hat, really. And it comes with capitalism at the same time. I swear, dude, these podcasts, they always end up weird. There's always a weird set of topics that happens. Even when it's just me, it's always a weird set of topics.
I mean, how do we even get out of this topic, dude? Like,
well, we can talk about an idea that I was throwing around. I've started it. I'm trying to start this fucking conversation. I'm already having an issue with that. I've always wanted to write my own manga. And I've slowly gotten better at doing like anime drawings or whatever. And I've always wanted to write a manga, and so I'm going to start this July. I'm going to start doing pages and start writing stuff for it, so that I'm trying to think of like stuff to keep in mind, you know, like what are series that have done stuff well, and what are series that are like I have to watch it to make sure to avoid whatever the fuck ups they did there, you know.
Yeah.
And I know you didn't prepare any notes, as you told me, but have you thought about any anime or manga that strike you as interesting or that you watched that were enjoyable?
I'm gonna be real. I haven't really watched any anime in like a hot minute. The only show that I have watched recently is BoJack Horseman. That's about all I do in my free time.
Fair enough. I would consider that anime, to be honest. I've been watching rewatched One Punch Man. So I wrote a whole script, an explained script on it, and I was like, I probably should rewatch this to make sure I remember the beats of the show when I edit in everything for a video at some point. And that series is pretty good. I think I'm gonna do a video like a review on it. I'm trying to figure out if I want to review the second season. I don't know if you knew this, but everyone fucking shit talks the second season of One Punch.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a animation studio shift, and it's very noticeable in my opinion.
Wait, when did they come out with the second season?
Uh, 3 years ago, I think.
I did not even know that.
Yeah, there was a 4 year gap between the first and second season, I think.
Hmm.
That was because the animation studio swapped and a bunch of other shit changed. I think that the third season of One Punch Man has not been announced, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't come out like at the beginning of 2022 or something like that. I'm gonna wait for it to get dubbed though. Even if it came out, I can't. I'm having more and more trouble these days watching subbed anime or anything with subs.
Yeah.
'Cause I find here I saw this thing on Twitter where it was an artist talking about how, like, if you follow someone, a Japanese artist, they were specifically talking about Japanese artists because the art community or whatever. And they were talking about how, like, if you see a post, do not reply with Western memes because it doesn't make sense to an Eastern viewer, you know?
Really?
Yeah, because you know that meme of the really, like, shaky dude, shaky yellow man meme, you know, the little yellow emoji where the guy's like reloading the gun and he's got like the big red teary eyes, whatever, and it's all shaky. Yeah. And I think the drawing was of like I don't know, like a small character, like a kid or whatever, but like not like, you know what I mean, safe for work. And the post that this Westerner had made was I would protect this child at all costs or whatever, and then posted that picture. And then the person replied with it, I've deleted the post. I'm sorry to make you feel this way. Because they interpreted the gun as meaning delete this shit, like right now, like a gunpoint really? Kind of thing. Yeah, because if you think about it, the reason why that works is because there's an understanding of like the before and after, because like what that meme is, you know? Like there's that meme combines that weird fucking TikTok or whatever where it's like the Vine shit where it's all that wavy. Yeah. It combines that, then the drug boof meme because of the red teary eyes, and then the loading of the gun, which I think was also the boof meme, but also something else where it's like like, you know what I mean? Like that's three layers of memes that only began in the West. You know, it was mainly an American thing.
Yeah,
and it was exactly. Like there's a bunch of examples like that they were posting. They posted the Wojak one or whatever, where it's like the dude's got the smiling mask, but then he's crying underneath. And I can't remember what I think the poster said, this is amazing. And then they said, I deleted the post. And it's like, I'm sorry to make it feel this way. He's like, no. I was trying to say that, like, on the outside, I'm feeling good, but your post is so amazing, it's making me sad. But to them, it was just like, your post is so shit that it's making me angry. Like, there's a complete disconnect and understanding of emotions and everything. And to wrap this back to why I brought it up for subs, is I have a very hard time watching, because I'm writing a script on Goblin Slayer and it comes to mind right away. Goblin Slayer I cannot watch in sub. I can watch it in dub, but I cannot watch it in sub. Because I find that Goblin Slayer, specifically the character, he will be like, he's a very robotic character. He's very like strict or to the point, right? And for some reason, I can get that across when it's in English, but when it's done in Japanese, he just sounds like an asshole, or he just sounds really bored. Like it just doesn't come across in the language, in the reading, or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And One Punch Man, there's a character who's a cyborg, and it's the exact same thing. I think it's that dry humor that doesn't go well, maybe, in English for me, or in Japanese for me. I don't know. But there's so much shit like that. Yeah. It's so you don't think about it. The interpretation of memes, especially, because you think memes are a universal thing, because the internet's a universal thing. But,
it's true. Not.
Because I asked this question a few days ago. I don't know if you saw me ask it in the general chat for the Discord. And also for those people watching, if you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. And in the description. It won't be in the pinned comment. But everything we've talked about will be in the pinned comment. So check that out. Gotta promote that stuff, dude. Gotta make people look at the description. That's also where the Patreon link is.
We love the Patreon link.
Yes, we do. Thing. It's our favorite thing. We currently have 0 patrons right now for this month. That's fine.
Yeah, so if you don't do it, we'll hate you. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's fair. What the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, the subs.
Question.
Yeah.
Question that you asked.
There's a question I asked. Dude, I hate
in the Discord.
Oh yeah. I was writing the Goblin Slayer script, and one of the things is,
holy shit!
My God, what was that? It was a thunder again?
Yeah. What the fuck?
You're getting the worst of it. It's clear and sunny right now. There's people chiseling out their
Yeah,
front porch and shit like that right now.
Really?
It just sounds like you got a fucking gang of workers outside chiseling up the road. But there's just one guy chiseling up his roof, I think. But yeah, when I was writing Goblin Slayer, for people that don't know, Goblin Slayer started out as an online thread made with ASCII art. You know what ASCII art is, Ivory?
No.
So ASCII art is text-based art. So it's art using like keyboard shit, like brackets or whatever to form something, you know?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it started off as that, but it was like there's a specific name for a board like that in Japan. So in the Wikipedia article for the series, it said on Japanese internet. And I was like, I don't know if that's racist. Or I don't know if that's like a weird fucking disconnect that I'm just not understanding this. But it's perfectly fine, supposedly, to say something's a Japanese internet. Because it's literally Japanese internet. Even though as a Westerner, I can go and see it. It's different. Because it's not, it's all in Japanese. It's not something I can actively engage with. Unless I spoke Japanese. But even then, it would still be Japanese. But yeah, there's so many like little disconnects of everything they don't really recognize. That's why I really enjoy doing the Explain series. There's a lot of like random shit that I learn about, mainly about the animation industry and stuff. And there's one. I'm gonna cough again because I cough all the time when I'm doing podcasts. But when I was doing the Drifter series, I think midway through doing the Redux, or no, midway during the original cut, the contract expired, and so you can't watch. I don't think you can watch the dub legally anymore. I don't think.
Oh shit!
You have to watch it illegally.
But don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I mean, if you can't watch it legally and it exists, what option are you given? I don't even know. I think it's still illegal at that point, so I won't say for sure. But like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, the content exists, you should be allowed to watch it. But if like the means of doing so are illegal, but would it still be illegal if there's no other way? I don't know. There's a bunch of series where we've done that before. I think Full Metal Alchemist is kind of weird. Like, there's certain parts of Brotherhood that you can watch legally, and then other parts you can't, like OVAs or something like that, because of like Japan being like, fuck off, it's not going to Westerners or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate shit like that. I don't understand it. Like, if you're gonna give the anime, right? If you're gonna give the anime and the manga over to the West, then why the fuck hold on to OVAs and movies and shit? Especially if it's canon. It's like, what the fuck? I'm okay, cool. I have no idea what the fuck's going on, so I'm not gonna watch or read the rest of this.
Yeah, exactly.
There was that was a big thing with Demon Slayer. When I wrote the Demon Slayer video, I learned that as well. That between the first and second season, you have to watch a movie, and that the movie had I think it's been dubbed now, but it might not be. I'm not 100% sure.
No, it is.
It is? Okay. You have to watch the movie after the first season before you can watch the second season. Otherwise, there's a huge gap. I think it's like 3 volumes. No, not that many. I think it's 2 volumes worth of shit. Where it's like, if you don't watch this, it's like a massive gap in character change and everything. And I was like, that's so fucked.
Oh yeah.
because I think originally when I was writing the script, season 2 already had been given the green light and had been told what its casting was for the English dub, but then there was no thing for the casting of the dub of the movie, and it was like, oh shit. I remember going through the original tweet and finding a bunch of people talking shit and be like, fuck me, like the second season's coming out, but I still haven't been able to watch the movie or whatever. I think it's still an issue for people in Canada and in other places like Australia or whatever, where they can watch the second season but can't watch the movie because for some reason Australia is like, no, fuck you, you can't watch the movie, like, or distribution rights, whatever. So stupid. I hate shit like that so fucking much. Makes no sense. There's a lot of games.
I don't know if the movie's on any streaming service, but I watched it.
Probably Crunchyroll. Probably Crunchyroll's got everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand their format. I'm not going to shit talk them because they sponsor a lot of YouTubers, and I will take that sponsorship. Crunchyroll, please. Yeah, there's so many. I feel like anime is a topic that should come up more with normal people talking about like distribution and rights, because there's a lot of instances where there's no way for you to watch it legally. Like Ghost Stories is another example that comes to mind. It's a great series. I don't think you can watch the dub legally. I think it's all on YouTube. There's a bunch of shit like that. Yeah, Ghost Stories is on YouTube. I mean, it's not aged well. Right? Yeah, that's the one where there's Jew jokes and gay jokes and there's a lot of like, fucky jokes. It hasn't aged well, but it's like there's nothing else like that. Though. Yeah, it's funny, but you have to there's trigger warnings for sure in that show.
Oh yeah.
We did a video on it, and in the video I was very careful to make sure that we didn't have bits where it was too racy. Because there's a bunch of stuff like that I can't. The series is on YouTube, but I can't mention the video in this podcast because this podcast will get flagged, and then it will be like everyone can't watch it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of shit like that. But yeah, we were talking about me writing a manga series to start about all this shit. But I want to do an isekai. Do you know what that is? You ever watch isekai stuff before?
No.
That's when the people go to another world.
Oh, okay.
I want to do one of those. But I need ideas from people of like, who's an important historical figure. This is more directed towards people than you, Ivory. Who is an important historical figure who you know about but also find interesting, and also what's a series, a manga or anime series or both, that you find interesting and you think that I should read/watch to take inspiration from, or to like avoid aspects of what they did. Someone was mentioning some series, Zenshin or whatever, something like that, was like, whatever they did, don't do it. I was like, all right.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I have no idea what they were talking about either. There's just some series that are like, it's really shit, so don't do it. Like, don't use them as an example of what to do. And I need more of those. I need more of like examples of what not to do. Oh, hold on.
Did your mommy come in the room?
Yeah, to borrow money, actually.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I'm a freelance artist, and that's about it. I do freelance art and editing, but I have way too much money in my wallet right now. So,
okay, I see how it is. No, that's fine. Just rub it in. No,
I will, because I love it. It's funny. I can be pretty much unemployed, but still have more money than anyone else in my fucking house. It's great. It's as long as you know how to manage your money, then you're fine. That's honestly, I've wanted to actually do videos about teaching people how to like just manage money, because I feel like a lot of people these days are really bad. Smart. Well, there's two series. Hold on, there's two series that I wanted to do. I'll talk about. There's that one, and then there's another series where we just talk about dreams. I was gonna call it Memory Den. We just have someone come on every episode and talk about a dream they had. But then that would have to rely on people not being flaky
Listen.
not be flaky
I'm
and
not
just
the
talk
only
about
one who
their
has
dreams.
dreams, Jacko.
I'm just saying, for sure, I'm calling on you for the first episode. That's a guaranteed. And I'll call Dee Dee
okay.
up. I'll call Dee Dee up to do a video talking about a dream.
Ooh, Dee.
Well, Dee Dee should be on the next podcast. How about we do the three of us next time on the podcast?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end it off here.
Okay.
We talked about a lot of things, and before we start talking about another thing, get on a tangent for another hour. I think we'll end it off here. Where do people go if they want to know more about you, Ivory, or do you not have anything set up still?
I have the Twitter. I think it's Ivor_Y.
Yep, it'll be on the screen for people. If it's still the same I'll just use the same graphic. If you guys want to know more about me, it's at jacko _2026. That's on Twitter. There's both of those. They're linked in the description down below. And I'm going to link Dee Dee's Twitter as well. Because Dee Dee's been sitting here patiently listening and was commenting with Ivory. So yeah, well, I don't know when the next podcast will be. This was supposed to be June's podcast, but it's going to end up being July's, I think. By then that, we'll get another podcast very, very soon. We're going to try and have 1 or 2 a month. I know I've already failed that twice, but fuck you, I guess. I'll do what I want. The Explain series will be back. Keep an eye out for a dev update video that will keep you updated on everything that's going on Kingdom wise. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.
Seems like yesterday. Seems like yesterday. Yesterday.